trying to convince people for the first 10 years that I was not a sleeper terrorist. I mean, I've literally been walked out of a school saying, "You'll never be in here." And I was like, what did I do? I don't even know you. And my dad, when he was at his lowest point, he tried to take his life. And just processing the aftermath of that, I remember a conversation where he was like, "Naeem, no one needs me." I was like, "Dad, no, we need you." He's like, "Nah, I would not be missed." I said, "Look around. Look at all the things we've been able to accomplish." And he was like, I don't see it. Trying to come against the lie that people so often believe, especially in their despair, that tomorrow doesn't need them.
He grew up as a Muslim, survived the Gulf War, now a bold Christian voice in America.
Naeem Fazal,
an author,
a speaker,
and the founder of Mosaic Church.
Like, sometimes people say, "Oh, you don't need fear in your life." Like, that's not true. Fear is a cautious companion. I said beauty is a solution to fear, not faith. Faith is just the opposite.
What sort of challenges have you come up against in ministry as somebody with a Pakistani background?
Just distrust, prejudice, a lack of belief in who I am in terms of credibility. It is impossible to think something or create something beautiful without loving it. Like, have you ever done something and you compliment yourself?
Absolutely.
Like, you've done that. I mean, God's complimenting himself. Where did we get that? We got that from him.
What is Tomorrow Needs You?
Tomorrow Needs You, the title of the book, really came from a conversation that I had with my...
Hello and welcome to Three Questions, the series where we talk with authors who have written something that is worth reading. My name is Pierce, and this is...
I'm Corey.
And it is wonderful to have with us Pastor Naeem Fazal, who has written an incredible book that we got to read through, and I had the privilege of proofreading. Tomorrow Needs You, and we are excited to talk to Naeem today. How you doing today, Naeem?
I'm doing great, man. Doing great. Thanks for having me, guys. Yeah,
absolutely,
for sure,
absolutely. So, like we talked about, what we do is we sit down and talk with you just to hear a little bit more about who you are and what you've written and why people should read it. So,
okay.
Our first question, and you can answer this any way that you want and take it in any direction that you want, is who are you, Naeem?
Wow, who am I? Yes, that's a deep question. Who are we really? You know what I'm saying? Who are we really?
Absolutely.
Yeah, so I mean, just I guess the bio would be is that so I'm actually Pakistani. I was born and raised in Kuwait, actually. So Pakistani parents, they migrated there. I was born in Kuwait and grew up Sunni Muslim. So, Arab context, definitely in the country, and also Islamic context in terms of, our family culture and dynamics there. And so did that, grew up there, and in 1990, was stuck in a war, the first Gulf War. And in 1992, survived the Gulf War. We were there the entire time, came to the States, and these are clip notes, had a radical experience with Jesus. 3 weeks being here, knew I was supposed to be called the ministry and didn't exactly know what that meant. And and then started pursuing all that God had for me, and just started, just moving towards Him, getting to know, Christianity as a whole, the scriptures, all that, and got ordained at a church in Charleston, South Carolina. And then started Mosaic Church in North Carolina about 20 years ago with my wife. And we got 2 kids and unfortunately 2 cats. So that is who I am right now. And then authored Ex-Muslim, which is chronicles the story of me coming to faith, but also what's really cool is also other stories of like my siblings coming to faith as well. Because I have 2 sisters, 2 brothers, all came to faith. My dad also before he passed. And so that's that first book. And then today, now just released a new book called Tomorrow Needs You. So that is who I am, I guess.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Or at least that's what I do. That's what I do or have done. How about that?
Yeah, that's a good answer. And it sounds like the cats weren't your idea.
Yeah.
No, they weren't. Never been. Never will be.
Our mom hates cats.
They pee on all my stuff, man. That's what it is. That's the issue. Okay. Right now, my sneakers that I wear to work out and they smell like cat pee. My car smells like cat pee. And for the life of me, I can't understand why everybody else, at least the the females in my house, they're like, "What's wrong with the cats?" I'm like, "Yeah, they don't pee on your stuff."
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Maybe you have a certain smell that attracts them.
that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
That's it. That's pretty much it. They're threatened by me, so they're peeing, marking their territory. They're like, "This is what we think of you."
Yeah.
In Tomorrow Needs You, and it sounds like you touched on some of these themes in Ex-Muslim as well, but you described some of the challenges that you faced being a Pakistani man in ministry in the States. What sort of challenges have you come up against in ministry as somebody with a Pakistani background?
I would think I could list off a few, but I think the biggest would be is just distrust, prejudice of different, and a lack of like belief in really who I am in terms of credibility. So what I mean by that is, so like I've got a Pakistani background, Muslim background. My name is Naeem. And the church that we started, it was in North Carolina, still part of the Bible Belt, still part of the South. And I just didn't realize it. And then the church is called Mosaic. It sounds a lot like mosque, but it's Mosaic. And so we're not part of a denomination. So that's part of, that's what makes to some people, that I'm kind of sus, like they're like, I don't know who he is, and then we're not part of the denomination, like I said. And then our church is super diverse. Mm-hmm. And so and I don't mean like just black, white, Hispanic. I'm talking about different cultures, just different people, different. Yeah, just it's a super melting pot of people that would never really be together or never hang out together, are together. And so, yeah, the biggest things I've felt is like trying to convince people for the first 10 years that I was not a sleeper terrorist. I mean, I kid you not. It was like, oh, wow. Like, so we started the church at home. And so we started in our house, and then we moved, and we're trying to find, we were in a theater. I was trying to get into a school, and man, I couldn't get into any school. I mean, I've literally been walked out, escorted out of a school saying, you'll never be in here. And I was like, what did I do? I don't even know you.
Yeah.
And
that's got to be on a t-shirt. Not a sleeper terrorist.
It's not a sleeper terrorist. That's it. Yeah. That's it.
That's
Yeah. And the next, on the other side will be, no, I'm a woke terrorist. Yeah. Think about that. Think about that. Yeah. It'd tick off everybody.
I really resonated with that part of your story. So I spent about 10 years in vocational ministry between prison chaplaincy and being an associate pastor at a church in Massachusetts, and a few other ministry positions, and mostly in either very multicultural spaces, like it sounds like Mosaic is, or majority white spaces, and being a black man and trying to navigate ministry from that aspect. I really enjoyed reading your perspective on those sorts of challenges.
Oh man, thank you. Yeah. I'm pretty passionate about that because I really like even the new book that I've written about Tomorrow Needs You. It's really about overcoming your fears and overcoming some trauma and anxiety in your life, but and some really cool stories. But the heart of it is really this idea of what fear allows us to justify. So when we fear a people group, right? Whatever you are, like if you're a majority, whatever, the minority, you're gonna fear them a little bit. You're a little apprehensive. You're like a little suspicious of them. Well, that if you allow that fear to digest or grow, it becomes to distrust. And once you start distrusting a people group, distrust justifies prejudice. Like that's the one thing that justifies prejudice, and people won't even admit it. But they're like, yeah, they won't call it prejudice, but they're like, yeah, I don't, because it's really distrust, which is really a core fear. It's hard to be prejudiced against people you don't fear, but it's easy to do it and justify it when you do. I mean, we're prejudiced against our future because we fear our future. Prejudging something, we just do that. So that's what prejudice is.
Absolutely.
Just prejudging it. Yeah.
Absolutely. So. And you led perfectly into my next question, which is, and you can answer this however strikes your mind. What did you write? And before I let you answer, just what you've already shared about what you've written in Tomorrow Needs You about those problems with fear and responding to that with beauty and seeking beauty is such a beautiful perspective that both Corey and I really resonated with. So, what would you like to add as far as
Yeah.
what did you write? What is
Yeah.
Tomorrow Needs You?
Man, these are deep questions. Who am I? What did I write? What these are all philosophical questions.
Yeah.
My gosh. Let's just go back to what would be cool sayings on t-shirts. Can we just go back to that? So Tomorrow Needs You, the title of the book really came from a conversation that I had with my dad. And my dad, when he was at his lowest point, he tried to take his life. And he was unsuccessful. But just processing the aftermath of that, I remember a conversation where he was like, Naeem, no one needs me. No one needs me. And I was like, Dad, no, we need you. He was like, nah, I would not be missed. I'm not, I don't matter anymore. And so trying to convince him of that, I was like, oh my gosh, I can't. And I remember in the conversation going, Dad, what are you talking about? Look around. I said, look around. Look at your grandkids. Look at all the things we've been able to accomplish. I mean, look at the fact that we are an immigrant family, as immigrants living in Kuwait, which doesn't give you citizenship regardless. But as Pakistani immigrants in Kuwait, now we're all here and we've gotten citizenships and we're settled here and our whole family, you've been able to move the entire family here. What are you talking about? I mean, look at all the beautiful things in your life. And he was like, I don't see it. And that's why the book is called Tomorrow Needs You, because I'm trying to come against the lie that people so often believe, especially in their despair, that tomorrow doesn't need them. And I just know too many people who believe that lie and actually have taken their lives. And then the solution of that, I'm like, you got to see beauty when you feel hopelessness, because the inability to see and create and surround yourself with beauty, that leads to hopelessness. But if you do surround yourself with beauty, create it and behold it, and put beautiful things in front of you, those actually give you so much hope more than you realize. So that's kind of like the big idea of the book. Yeah.
And it really
there's a lot more I could talk about it. Yeah.
It really takes redefining what beauty is and what is beautiful, because some people look for a really high standard and consider themselves a failure if they don't reach a huge goal. But it's beautiful that we're breathing right now. It's like
right.
It's a lot of things to be found.
Yeah, for sure. And I think so part of the conversation has got to be like understanding what redefining what beauty is. Beauty is something that literally means that you make it out to be bigger than it is. That's the word beautiful means. So if you put more attention or affection towards something, it becomes more beautiful to you, more precious to you, more. We're not talking about being pretty or attractive. Those are different things. We're talking about beautiful. So there might be a movie, there might be a song, there might be an event, there might be a person, there might be a community, there might be a moment. And to you, you're like, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. Why? Because you're making it bigger than it is. And so in the book, I talk about how so often in faith circles, what we do is we go, okay, fear can be conquered by faith. So all you got to do is believe more, trust more, and have more faith. If we have all of those, and also if we wear a shirt that says fearless or, faith, not fear, if we do things like that, that overcomes fear. That's not true. I mean, that's not true at all. And the reason why, it's not even in the scriptures. Like in the scriptures, it says there's only one thing that has the ability to literally control fear and dismantle it or tell it where to go. It's love. So it says perfect love, God's perfect love in our lives, realized, made perfect in us, the anchor of our souls. His love for us literally gives us the power to tell fear where to go. It drives out fear. It can get rid of fear. It can cast out fear. And that's what it does. And so in this book, I'm hoping people realize that you gotta understand that fear wants to lead your life. Like fear and anxiety, worry will want to lead your life. And the only way that you can take back control is to begin to surround yourself with God's love, and then begin to allow God to lead you through love, and then allow love to lead your life. And the reason why I bring up beauty is because it is impossible to think something or create something beautiful without loving it.
Mm.
You can't do it. You can't do it. Your unique love for this thing makes it beautiful. And when you and I create out of love, and when we allow love to lead us, we make beautiful things. We have a beautiful life. We have a beautiful thought life. We have a beautiful inner life. We do that. And so I talk about how um, people have said there's therapy in doing artwork and all that, and people have recovered from a lot of trauma doing that, and that's so true. That's true. But it's not just like, oh, drawing something. No, it's actually the art of creating something beautiful. And the reason why I believe it makes us whole, it heals our souls, is because we are made by a creator. Not just we're made by God, we are made by a creator.
Mm.
And when we create, we are most like him. When we create, there's a closeness. Like, for example, have you ever made something and you thought, oh my gosh, that's awesome. That's beautiful. Like, have you ever done something and you compliment yourself?
Absolutely.
Like, we've done that, right? We've done that,
Absolutely.
right? We do it. We do it. And no one does it. No one thinks it's prideful. No, it's like, oh, I created this. Oh, I made this. And you look and go, oh my gosh, that's awesome. I mean, I joke about the fact that sometimes I wash my car and I'm like,
I did
yeah.
that.
And
I did
I
that.
park the car and I turn and give a second look. I'm like, oh yeah, yeah, that's awesome.
I made these really good cupcakes last week, and
See?
he has a really young son, and like young kids don't lie, and he really liked it. So I was like, yeah, I did
Yes.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, you did that. You did
Yeah.
that. So here's what's funny. Where do we get from creating things and giving ourselves compliments?
Mm.
We got it from Genesis 1. God created something,
He saw it was good.
and he said, hey, that's good.
Yeah.
Kept on going for days. Every time he was complimenting himself. Last day, sixth day, he looks at everything he's made and us, and he goes, oh, I just outdid myself.
I really like this one.
Yeah, I am a god. Like, oh, I mean, really, like this, I did this. It's very good.
Yeah.
I mean, God's complimenting himself. Where did we get that at? We got that from him.
Mhm.
And so when you create out of love, when you create, and you, there's no way, whatever you create out of love is beautiful.
Absolutely.
And he
Whatever
looks
you
at
get
us
out of
that way.
Correct. Exactly. So because he created us out of love, we're beautiful to him. It's not based on what we look like or what we do and all that. No, because he created us out of love. And so when we begin to do that, that heals our souls, So that's why in the book, Tomorrow Needs You, I talk about, it's the beautiful things in our life that give us the power to dismantle the most fearful things in our life. You have to put something before you. And I did a TEDx talk that's connected to the book, and I did a talk years ago, and I was talking about, our ideas worth sharing. That's the whole premise of TED. And I put out there, I said, beauty is a solution to fear, not faith. Faith is just the opposite. Beauty is a solution. And it actually came from a passage of scripture that it was said of Jesus, where Paul says, hey, let's look to Jesus, the author and finisher of our faith. And then he said, for the joy he set before him, he endured the cross. So God and Jesus, he literally put a joy, something beautiful before him to endure the cross. So I like to think that Jesus set a beautiful humanity, a picture of a beautiful humanity where humanity could have a close, intimate relationship with God. And he said, it's worth me dying on the cross for it. It's worth me getting tortured and arrested and rejected and betrayed for it. It's worth it because I see a beautiful humanity and what humanity could be. And so I do it. So he set a joy before him and he endured the cross. He set a joy before him. And that's why he said, your will be done, your kingdom come. Not my will, your will. And so I think that has so much power. That's why when we put something beautiful in front of us, a beautiful vision, a beautiful relationship, you will go to the ends of the earth. You will climb any mountain. You will do all the things to make it happen, And I feel like we reclaim that. Then I think if you want to move out of trauma and move out of despair, move out of hopelessness, move out of constant anxiety, you got to not find it in you, you got to put something beautiful before you.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah. That's a paradigm shift for a lot of people.
Yeah.
It's a paradigm shift. So often we turn inward and we introspect ad nauseum, but to put
Yeah.
something before you that is drawing you out of fear. You have a line in the book that I absolutely loved that I wrote down as soon as I read it. It was fear is a squatter, and that resonated with me so much. It just sits down in you, sits down on you, and takes up space and weighs you down. But when you eradicate that with beauty, and when you put beauty before you and give yourself a reason to move out of and away from that fear,
Mm.
that's really powerful stuff. Really powerful.
Yeah. Oh man, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I don't even know if I mentioned this. I've been talking about this like recently, but I'm like, did I put that in the book? And I don't remember. Did I ever put something on the book? I'm asking you because you recently read it. I'm like, did you talk about how you got to put fear on a leash?
That's in there.
Yeah, yeah. I
Oh,
remember that
hallelujah.
one.
Thank you.
Yeah, you got it. You got it
Yeah.
in
Good. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I've always loved that idea of like, like sometimes people say, oh, fear, you don't need fear in your life. No, fearless. You got to live fearless. And that's just dumb. Like really you don't. Like that's not true. You need fear is a cautious companion,
there.
Mm.
but a terrible master.
Yeah.
And a terrible roommate.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it doesn't need to be there, but because it wants to control you. Like, and so like I talk about how years ago my son was a little. We went on a cruise, and my wife was nervous that he would like fall off the boat, like kind of thing. And so we put this cute little harness on him. It was basically a leash. I mean, that's what it was. You know what I'm saying? And it looked like a book bag and all that.
Yeah.
It's all cute, but he was like he had the facade of freedom. He had to him he was like it looked like he had freedom. He could do whatever he wanted to do, and he had a awesome backpack to go with it. But we controlled him.
Yeah.
Like we pulled him anytime if we wanted to go in a different direction, we just pulled him. And fear does that. Fear says, hey, you want control in your life, right? You want to be secure in your life, right? You want to have Juicy's juice snack, right? You want to have this, you want to have that. Put this on me, put this on you, and just let me just control it. And then it just pulls you. And so any opportunity, any dream that seems a little bit more risky, any direction that God says go, but it's a sense of obedience, but you're not quite sure if everything's going to work out. If there's any risk involved, if any ambiguity involved, fear just pulls and says, "No, we're not doing that. We're not doing that." And so I say, put the leash on fear and go. Let love lead you, and let fear guide. Like put guardrail, like allow fear to kind of ask the questions of like, what is the best way to do that? Should I do that right now?
Yeah.
What is at risk?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
I love the imagery of putting a leash on it. It makes me think of Pierce has a dog and he's very big. And my dad has walked him a couple times. And sometimes like the dog is really strong, so he'll try to start walking you. But the thing is, like
Right.
he doesn't know where to go. Like if you just let him
Right.
go, he'll just go in the street. He'll go any which way. But even though like you might feel weaker sometimes, like you know where to go and like you know how to get back home. And
Right.
like so we gotta take control of the fear and let God lead us back to
Yeah. Exactly.
the right path. I like that
Yeah.
image of putting the leash on.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So our final question for you is, why should people read Tomorrow Needs You?
Well, I believe in the message of hope. The reason is because there are so many people that, if not everyone, I believe everyone at some point in their life finds themselves stuck, and because they had a good season or a traumatic season, whatever the season might be, terrible or terrific. but they're in a different season, but they're stuck, basically rehearsing the past. And depending on how you let it fester, because I write the past is too small for you to live in. And the reason why the past is too small is because the only thing that does not exist in the past is hope. Hope and opportunity and possibility and imagine and wonder does not exist in the past. So everything your soul needs to live on does not exist in the past. And what happens is sometimes based on how bad or good the past was, we in the present find ourselves stuck because we're either rehearsing it, like we wish we went back in the past. So we go back to past stuff. We get on Facebook or we wonder what so-and-so is doing. We go back and we figure out. It's like, that's why I talk about in the book. I'm like, hey, yesterday has forgotten you. Yesterday is the person you were dating or you had a relationship with it or you have friendship with, and you broke up. And guess what they're not doing? They are not talking about you.
Yeah.
They have moved on and you are still bringing them up. And it's harsh, but I'm like, that's why people get stuck. So I want people to read the book because some of it's traumatic stuff. Like people gone through some major traumatic things. And that in the book, I tell other people's stories. It's not just my experience, it's other people's stories of coming out of trauma, coming out of loss, rejection, failure, all those things, coming out of suicidal thoughts. And yeah, there's too many people who are just finding themselves stuck. Like, and if I can break that, because if they live in the past too long, if they live in the current state of despair too long, despair and disappointment and darkness will convince them that they don't matter, that nothing they do matters, that nothing they do is good, is needed in the world. And so many people need to believe this, that the world is better because they're in it. Man, I don't think a lot of people believe that at all. So that's why people need to read this book and people need to share this, especially with people who are going through a dark time right now.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Absolutely. And anybody who is going through a dark time right now, or really, like you mentioned earlier, anybody, because we all have hit those dark times or will hit those dark times, and to be equipped with a message like this book shares and a powerful story like yours and the other powerful stories that you share in this book really can help fortify us against the despair that come along with those dark times.
Yeah.
So for anybody watching this, please pick up a copy of Tomorrow Needs You. We want to thank InterVarsity Press for publishing this incredible book, and for we want to thank Naeem for writing it. And the link to purchase the book is in the description to this video, as well as all of the links to connect with Naeem and with Mosaic Church. Is there anything else that you wanted to share with anybody watching this video, Naeem?
No, man. I mean, I think that's it. I think that what's really would be really great, though, if I could ask, is for people who have read it, is to write a review on Amazon or Goodreads. Writing reviews and rating the book, especially writing reviews, is really cool because it allows me to actually read how it impacted people. You know, because I don't get a lot of feedback. So it just helps me. And then, yeah, it also helps other people kind of read their experiences. And for some reason, because smarter people have figured this out, that it actually helps with the algorithm and all that. And somehow more people find out about this. So yeah, I would love for people to, share their thoughts. You know, if anything stood out in the book, just love to know. So,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Naeem.
Yeah, man. Yeah, of course, guys.
Absolutely.